but they have issued dozens. But this is the issue. State Liquor Authority has 30 investigators for the state of New York. The way the State Liquor Authority works is the local entities find an issue, because they're doing the local enforcement, so the local NYPD finds a violation, they call the SLA. Local public health department finds a violation, they call the State Liquor Authority. That's how it works. So the State Liquor Authority does not have enough investigators to do the entire state of New York. You're not going to cover the state of New York with 30 investigators. That was never the intention. It's the local government is doing the enforcement. The ultimate sanction is you call the State Liquor Authority to possibly revoke the license of the bar or the restaurant, which is the ultimate sanction, right? The local government can give them a health citation. The local government can give them a sanitary citation. But if the local government really wants to get aggressive, then they call the State Liquor Authority and say, I'm forwarding you this complaint. I think you should close them down. We cannot do this level of enforcement without the local governments and the local police departments. We need them. And part of this is, it gets complicated, because part of these congregations, you have more violations of the open container law than anything else, right? The bar owner will say, I don't even know those people. You know, they didn't buy their alcohol here. But they are standing on a street or on a sidewalk, and they're drinking an alcoholic beverage. That's a violation of the open container law. That has to be enforced. And then the question is, did they get it from that bar? And if you can stop the source, that's obviously the best. But we need the local governments to do the enforcement. And look, I'm not saying it's not hard. I get it. There's 500 kids. They don't want to go in there. And the State Liquor Authority has been much more aggressive. And we've added investigators to the State Liquor Authority. The Department of Health on the state side has more investigators, and they have done dozens of citations, but that is not enough. You can't do this without the local government and police.
A few weeks ago, you expressed your concerns over interstate commerce as it related to COVID-19 rebound in New York. What would you suggest to the federal government, or rather, what would you do if it were within your powers to safeguard New York from cross-border transmissions?
Look, we have put in place a quarantine. I don't believe the state of New York has ever done this before. We've put together an enforcement mechanism for the quarantine procedure, where we actually have police in an airport now. You get off the plane, you have to fill out a form as to where you're going, so we can follow up on the quarantine. If you don't fill out that form, it's illegal for you to leave the airport. These are drastic measures that were inconceivable before this. I don't believe there's anything else we can do as a state. The problem is you have it increasing now in 40 states across the nation. How do you keep the virus in 40 states coming from New York? We now have people coming to New York fleeing the other states because it's the quote-unquote safe state. So we have people coming here just for the purpose of fleeing the virus in their state. Really, the only answer is those other states have to get the virus under control. And the federal government has been incompetent on this situation. The federal government has been in denial on this situation. The federal government has pressured these other states to reopen recklessly, which they did. President, liberate, 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 all the protests against New York. How many times did I get into confrontations with protesters? President Trump says you should reopen the economy.